Aaron Stanfield, and Kevin Haley, another member.
And then
And-
online, we have Susie Mendoza.
Okay. And online, we have Susie Mendoza. And for the city staff, we have Ben, which is the Director of Development Services. We have one consent agenda item tonight, which is number one on your handout, which is consider approving the minutes for November 24th, 2025. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding the minutes from November the 24th?
We approve the consent agenda.
All in favor? Ayes have it. The consent agenda item has been approved. Moving along to new business on your handout, which will be number 2, is conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from PD revised 6 to PD revised 66 revised, I'm sorry, to PD, I'm gonna start over. Zoning change, conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from PD 66 revised 6 to 66 revised 7, generally to allow for development of a data center complex and to modify development standards and zoning regulations located at the northwest corner of East Ovilla Road, State Highway 342, PIN numbers 309-734, 309-735, and 309-737, located in Ellis County, City of Red Oak. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-28, requested by Alamo Mission LLC. Staff, please.
All right, commissioners, this is a expansion of the existing Google site. So previously the site, this is Austin Boulevard here, East Ovilla here. You can see the site under construction. That's the original site that was purchased for the development of data centers. The front part was left open for retail and commercial along Ovilla Road. And since the development was originally planned, we have come to find out that the Ovilla Road overpass that is going to be reconstructed as Ovilla gets widened, it's going to go over the railroad tracks and over 342. And that bridge isn't going to come down till about right here. And so what ends up happening is all this, what would have been really good retail frontage kind of becomes kind of down in a hole where people aren't just able to just pop off and get something in a strip center or a restaurant or something. And so the Industrial Development Corporation has made an agreement to sell that land to Google so they can expand their site with up to, we have not seen, right now, this is just a request to incorporate the land into their existing PD and have the same development standards as that existing PD. So previously, so this is what the current zoning would look like with this request. So previously it stopped about here, and the any screening would stop along here as well. So now the screening's been extended all across Ovilla Road, which is a berm and landscaping or masonry wall. But most likely it'll continue to be a berm and landscaping, similar to what was done along Austin Boulevard for their first phases. And I don't remember if they've got, yeah, it's not quite up to date in the maps yet, but you can see their berm here, and now it's got landscaping on it. And so essentially, again, all this is adding this small strip of land that was going to be commercial retail, now can be added to their campus. And more importantly, it will have to come back to you for a development plan revision. So once they decide what they're actually going to build on it, it'll come back before you and city council for approval.
Okay.
And I believe the applicant's representative here tonight, if you have any specific questions for them.
All right. Thank you, Ben. This is a public hearing. Those who are for this item, you can speak first, and those who may be against this item, you can go second. Or if you have any questions, you can go second. So as of right now, the floor is open for agenda item 2 tonight. And when you come to the mic, please state your name and your address, please.
Members of the commission, my name is Myron Dornick, 2323 Ross Avenue, Dallas, Texas, 75201. Here on behalf of the applicant, Alamo Mission, which is a subsidiary of Google that owns the data center property and would, if the contract is closed, acquire this property. Google has no use for this property unless it can become part of the data center. So the contract is contingent on the zoning being approved. We actually have no intended use of this right now, but we were approached by the Red Oak Industrial Development Corporation, and it seemed like a good opportunity to have some additional land if it should be needed in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to close a public hearing, please? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, in reading the agenda item, I think you left out property identification number 191222.
Okay, for the records, I'm sorry, it is on the handout tonight. It is PIN numbers 309-734, 309-735, 309-737, and 191-222. If not,
We close the public hearing.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns for the staff or the applicant?
No.
We think even on the corner, the northeast corner of Austin, there's not really good spot for developing right there, retail wise.
This side or this side?
The northeast,
Here?
you're right.
Possibly. There is a pretty gnarly drainage path that comes through here.
Mhm.
So if you can kind of see, you can't really see from this, but it's a couple feet lower. And then you've got a pretty big culvert that's under construction there coming through that releases water from here all the way up to Houston School Road. You can kind of see where it comes down through there. So nothing that can't be solved. It's just
Not ideal.
it's a more difficult drainage solution than maybe a smaller strip center would be able to handle.
Okay.
Smaller being several hundred feet, maybe,
Several hundred feet. You mean like square
from
footage of it?
Austin to where it would be unusable.
It's not that it's unusable. It's just the solution would be putting it underground in very
Well,
expensive
no,
pipe.
From Austin to where you wouldn't be able to use it based on the overpass.
Oh, the overpass comes down about right here.
Okay.
And so all I was kind of getting at was that you're going to have I think the bottom of the bridge at the railroad track is 26 feet.
Mhm.
So it's got to come all the way down back to
Way
grade
down.
level. And so it
Okay.
comes, and so you just end up with a big retaining wall right here that people can't really see, and they're not going to allow an exit right here. So your first turn in is going to be Austin Boulevard. So then essentially all of the access from the main lanes of Ovilla are like through a shared drive system is kind of what you'd end up having. So it's just not ideal.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, makes
Thank
sense.
you.
Any more questions, commissioners? All right, and can I have a motion for agenda item 2, please?
I move that we approve agenda item 2 as presented.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Agenda item 2 has been approved. Moving along to number 3 on your handout, which is conduct a public hearing and request a zoning change from PD 113R to PD 113R2 for the submittal and approval of a development plan for a school generally located on the south side of Harmony Way and approximately 1,005 feet east of intersection Ewell Road and Harmony Way. PIN number 277639, located here in the city of Red Oak, Ellis County. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat 25-31, requested by Sherilyn Ormilio. Staff, please.
Okay, our next 3 agenda items are all for the school district. And just as a quick explanation for all of them, they're all currently in PDs, which requires us to now bring them back before you for any new site plan additions that they have. So that's why we're hearing these as zoning cases.
Okay.
So this first one is a new elementary school located, here's Ovilla Road, the theater, then Harmony, here's 35. And so it's the Harmony subdivision is here, and then you've got Creek Bend Phase 1 and 2, and then Summerwood over here. So as far as locations go for a school, it seems really good that you've got a lot of neighboring homes that kids can walk to the school for. And a unique site with that is bordered by creeks here. So from a site plan perspective, they've got 3 entrances off of Harmony Way. The main entrance for, I guess you'd say pedestrians or the kids that are walking are going to be here. The front of the school entrance is here. And so the main crosswalk across Harmony will be right here. So the flow path for traffic is going to be in this first entrance around for pickup drop off, which is all the main traffic concern, right? So there's enough room to stack cars in through here, and then out they can turn left or right when they leave. This side is more for staff and the
Buses going that way.
I'm sorry, yes, the buses and custodial, dumpsters are back here. The landscape plan is similar to most of our commercial type properties, trees along the frontage, shrubs along the frontage, sod everywhere in between that they're disturbing. The detention pond is in the back here near the creek, so it'll collect here in the back and then drain out to the creek slowly over time. From an elevations perspective, simple brick design, similar to some of the other schools in the city.
Susie, can you see everything? Okay.
And so just wanted to point out the parking as well. So our standard requirement for a school like this would be 1 space per 14 students of design capacity, which they've got 750. That'd be 54 spaces, but they're providing 133 on site there. Additionally, we're adding sidewalk along the frontage. This sidewalk has been planned to be extra wide at 8 feet to accommodate walkers. It is 8 feet down along the rest of the roadway here. So as it goes down here, it narrows up right there, but they'll connect here and then have sidewalk all the way to this drive entrance. That's all I have on this one. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I believe the applicant is online here.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. This is a, public hearing. And those that are in favor of this item, you can come forward. Please state your name and your address, and those who may be against this item or have questions, you can go second, and the floor is open.
Hi, I'm Michelle Blake. I live at 301 Susan Way, Red Oak, Texas, 75154. And my concern when I saw that you guys were looking at rezoning this for another elementary school, I'm concerned because we already have two elementary schools in very close distance from where this one elementary school is looking at going. And I'm just looking at future. You hear of a lot of those other cities if we're looking ahead, then are we going to be utilizing these schools in these locations? I mean, is this a good location in comparison to where these other two elementary schools, which we're talking about, Shields and I don't remember the other name, which used to be the 5th and 6th grade center, but they're in very close proximity as well as this school. And I'm not sure if that's going to serve the community at large for future growth, because this is a heavily populated area. And I'm thinking that building a school further down Ovella Road, kind of the direction that we just put the intermediate school, might be a better direction and as far as future planning. So I'm just concerned about the future logistical side of this school and what that's going to do in comparison to where we've already situated our current schools. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I move to close.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed. I guess, Ben, we had a few, have the questions. Can we answer one of those or two of those, or kind of?
So the school district does all their planning as far as where they want schools and where they don't want them. So from a city perspective and y'all's perspective, there's nothing to comment on necessarily. That'd be a question for the school board. I mean, other than that, that's we're talking about planning from a perspective of going through the zoning process of allowing a school there,
Right.
not telling the school they should put a school there.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So the individual that came to the microphone, she needs to contact who? Like as far as-
And anyone at the school board or the admin of the school district. If you want more in-depth of why they picked this location. The question so I'm just gonna get in the record. The question was, does Glen Heights Planning Commission care where the city of Red Oak ISD puts their schools? I'm sure they do. But again, since it's all Red Oak ISD, they're doing all their planning internally, via the school board and admin. Yes, if you're wondering about how they're doing their planning, that would be a question for them.
Yes. Thank you, Ben.
And this property is Red Oak. It's not.
Yes, this is in Red Oak. It's
Oak
close to
ISD.
the Glen Heights border. I think this is what she's getting at.
Okay.
I know they've had this property.
Yeah,
for a
well,
long time.
I'll just clarify on the map here. So this is the Red Oak city limit line here. Maybe I'll get on appraisal district. It'll show the lines better there. So Harmony, all of Harmony subdivision is in Red Oak, and then all of Magnolia, with this being the divider line, Ewell kind of being the divider line, is Glen Heights, city of Glen Heights, but still in Red Oak ISD.
Thank you, Ben. I
Yep.
think that answers the question. You all have to reach out to the ISDs with those questions. moving along. And Commissioner, did you have any questions or concerns regarding this item?
No, I know this is property they've owned for a while, so it's makes sense to build on. We've been expecting them to build on that. And it looks like they did a good job of trying to set up the flow so it won't impinge on traffic on Harmony Way. So I have no questions, no issues.
Okay. Kevin, anything from you?
No
Questions or
questions.
concerns? Susie, anything?
No, I don't have anything. I actually think it's a great location for a school considering that it's surrounded by houses which will presumably serve those children.
Okay. Thank you. All right, and can I have a motion for agenda item 3, please?
Move that we accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Agenda item 3 has been approved. Moving along to agenda item 4, which is consider approving a preliminary plat for the Harmony Elementary addition on the commercial development on approximately 15.55 acres, generally located on the south side of Harmony Way and approximately 1,005 feet east of intersection Ewell Road and Harmony Way. PIN number 277-639, Ellis County Appraisal District, Ellis County, Texas. Case number P as in Paul, S as in Sam, 25-31, requested by Sherlyn Armilio.
So
Staff.
this is for the same site, for the school site. So part of our process is that before we can issue permits, we need to have the site platted. And so this is the first step in the platting process, which because this is over 10 acres, we have to do a preliminary and a final plat.
Mhm.
And so this is why this is before y'all tonight. It's as a approval for a preliminary plat.
Okay. Commissioners, you have any questions?
Is all the water on this going to run down to the creek or down to the detention pond and then into the creek?
Yeah, so the entire site drains into the detention pond where it's held and then slowly released
Okay.
back
Mhm.
at the same rate that it was being released when there was nothing there. So
Okay.
it goes into a big hole and then it comes out a little pipe.
Gotcha.
That's basically how that works.
Understood.
But you can see the creek along here is all drainage easement, and then the creek on this side is all drainage easement as well.
So we're not going to cause any headaches for the neighbors.
No.
Good.
Okay. Anyone else?
I move that we approve agenda item 4 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Agenda item 4 has been approved. Moving along to agenda item 5, which is on the back side of your handout. Conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from PD 144 to PD 144R for construction and improvements to a public stadium. On the property address is 154 Louise Ritter Boulevard and located on the southeast corner of Shawnee Road and Louise Ritter Boulevard. PIN number 283942, Ellis County Appraisal District, City of Red Oak, Ellis County. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-32, requested by Robert Howman. Staff, please.
All right, commissioners, this is a remodel and addition to the existing Goodloe Stadium at the middle school. So they'll be going from 6,000 seats to 9,000 seats and adding additional parking. Can't remember the exact numbers, but it's I think 600 or 700 right now, and it's going up to 2,000 over 2,000 to provide parking for the stadium and the upgraded and number of seats. So on the site plan here, you can see there's parking added here, 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 and here. So all around the stadium, you're getting more parking with additional area if needed for 1,000 future spaces if they need that. So our current standard right now is one space for every 3 seats in the stadium, which
Mhm.
comes out to 3,000 seats. And so they're requesting that to just do one seat or one parking space per 4.5 seats, which gets them that 2,000.
Okay.
The site plan is generally showing just the bigger outline of the stadium here. So we'll have a new, I forgot what they're calling this. Yeah, the field house and concession area here on the south end, which you can see is not there now.
Right.
And then upsizing these bleachers as well as these bleachers. So new visitors bleachers at 3,500, new home at 5,500 for the total of 9,000. They're not really adding any landscaping here, just sodding over the areas that they disturb. The parking lots will feed into they got a new detention pond over here. And then these existing ones will feed into the detention pond on the south side of the property. That's kind of near Bell's Chapel. And here's what it'll look like, the front entrance of the home side.
Mhm.
These are the stands, the bottom of the stands here, and then here's the kind of main entryway. And that's what it'll look like when you're standing like at the 50-yard line at the field. That's what the press box will look like. And then the field house that I mentioned that's on the south side, basically just similar materials matching all the existing. This is the back side of the visitor side with the ticket booth here. And essentially that's it. They're just upgrading the stadium and then adding a lot of parking.
They're going from a 7-lane track to 8-lane, right?
Yes, that is also correct. So zoom in there and show you that. So now it's got full eight lanes on the track.
Okay.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was all part of the bond package that was passed last year
Okay.
A couple
or 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I was gonna ask you about that.
That's all I've got on that one. If you guys have any additional questions, just let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. This is a public hearing. Those who want to speak, please step to the podium and please state your name, your address.
Hi, my name's Michelle Blake, again, 301 Susan Way, Red Oak, Texas. I have a question about that top piece of property that's up to 2377. If you change the zoning for the parking lot over there on the west side of the stadium, is that changing the entire stretch of that property area all the way up to 2377? Or is it just for that particular area where the parking lot is going?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the property is a singular property, and so
Mhm.
we're changing the zoning for the whole property. So if I go click on this, you see how it's just one giant property?
Mhm.
So we're changing the zoning to simply to add the site plan. And the site plan is the new the new additions and footprint of the football field as well as the new parking areas. It allows for future parking. It doesn't require it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that was my next question. If it does that, then my next question is about the access, because that is a 2-lane road right there, 2377. And if we continue to expand parking, my concern is the width of that road and the traffic that will continue to increase on that road and how we will address that, because that's a state, that's a farm to market road. So I just didn't know how we were going to address that if we open that up to continue to expand if needed, how we're going to address the traffic concerns. I know that I read on the state site that the road is expanding on 2377 from Lawrence all the way to 813. I don't know how that'll affect this other portion of the road.
So nothing's being done right now, but this does have, if in the future this parking gets put in, this 1,000 spaces,
Mhm.
there's another connection point that's going to go out to Bell's Chapel here. And we do also have the entrance on Bell's Chapel already that can be opened up for these specific football games. Are you speaking more about the stadium traffic or the daily in and out traffic?
Stadium.
Okay. So what we're looking at for the stadium is 9-10 games a year there. So
Mhm.
just 10 times of inconvenience instead of $50 million new roadway.
Yeah, well, that's easy to say unless you're sitting at this house right there. They're parking all over your area.
Now we're gonna get some parking there.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns regarding agenda item 5?
I'm just curious, it says the new height will be 108 feet. What is the current height? Do we know?
I believe it's in the 70s. I cannot remember off the top of my head what the current height is.
Okay. Um,
I don't know that it was labeled on the.
And then I would like to see some trees going in where possible.
Maybe some red oak trees.
How many and where, and I'll tell 'em.
So how many trees? Where are you gonna put the trees at? Oh. That's a good question.
I mean, like along the edges of the parking lot, perhaps.
Like here.
Yeah,
Here, I'll
And
go
on
to the
the-
over.
east side. The west side as well, yeah.
So like along here and along here.
Yes. I could see they wouldn't, couldn't fit them in the medians. I could see that, but it'd be great to have. And it's not as good to have shrubs in the medians because then they get in the way when you open your car door, but I think trees for shade would be really good.
Along here, maybe? Along the roadway?
Yeah, they would fit. I mean, it's gonna be a big expanse of hot parking lot, so if we could get some trees in to help cool things down.
I'll take a motion with
Okay.
just something for the council to vote on. So 100 trees in spaces they could go.
Is that I
Whatever.
don't know if that landscaping, know if that's a crazy number, if that's a reasonable number. I don't know.
You just want a few trees. Is it-
Well,
You just want a few trees. 10, 20,
no,
more than that.
yeah, because it's a big area.
It is a large area and it's a lot of parking.
Well, and that also plays into when there's band competitions and track meets during the day, gives people a place to go and cool off between events or whatever, tailgate at their car in the shade.
Sure.
Plus it makes it more attractive than just a big open field.
100%.
Okay.
I asked and they said, no, thank you. So,
So,
so you guys need to tell them.
Okay.
so okay, I don't know how often you typically request trees to be, what's,
Like
So, like-
along roadways, we do like 1 per 40 feet. That's our
Okay.
bare minimum standard. And then in parking areas, we typically like to see them in the islands. Where possible.
mhm. Okay, so I would say around the perimeters of the parking lots.
Okay.
Then we'll say 1 every 40 feet.
That sounds good.
enough, specific enough?
Yes.
I guess Ben, when y'all requested, why did they say they didn't want the tree? I guess refuse trees
They
or
don't want to spend.
is it more of a maintenance deal?
It's
ISD.
probably a combination of everything that they have to now put sprinkler soakers to them and.
Oh. Okay. Irrigation.
Yeah, irrigation cost. I mean, everything usually comes down to cost.
Okay.
I still would like to request that.
Now, if there are other things we would like to suggest, do we do that as an add to this or as a separate item?
If you want, if it's related to landscaping, then you can make a
No.
whole motion about landscaping, but if it's separate, then
Separate.
make it a separate,
Okay,
item.
But in this approval, so if, I mean, if you want to make this approval contingent on something like add
No.
trees, okay.
now this is it's separate from trees and landscaping.
Well, we're not just approving the landscaping though, right?
Right, yes, it's the whole site.
Okay.
Parking.
Well, then I
What's
would
your other
like
issue?
to discuss the lighting of the parking lots. One needs to be adequate throughout the parking lot and should not spread too far beyond the edges of the parking lot so as to disturb the neighbors.
So our basic requirement for lighting is that it has to be directional and not shine across property lines.
Okay,
Can you stop glow from going across?
No,
property
you can't
lines?
do
No,
that,
You can't,
but-
but it's more like, you can't like put directional lights facing the property next door. So that actually. gets
that's already
handled-
in there?
It gets handled in the permitting process.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because we don't actually see lighting drawings on here yet. It'll be a
Correct.
later thing.
Correct.
Okay, it'll be a later thing. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have to mention irrigation for the trees or we just say
Well,
I don't know.
if they don't put in the irrigation and their trees die, then they're in violation of their zoning and we have to tell them.
Oh, they have
So,
to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silly to not put in the irrigation.
I
but,
got you.
mean,
Excuse
whatever-
me,
How about we say trees, the perimeter of the parking lots with appropriate irrigation?
Well, that's, I guess he's saying that's kind of assumed.
No.
You have to,
Remind them
Yeah.
that they need to do it.
Yeah,
Go,
rather
go
than-
ahead, Susie. I think you had something.
wouldn't there be irrigation for the sod?
sometimes it's, temporary irrigation just to get it established. But yes, I don't know that for
Okay.
sure.
Okay,
But a lot of these bigger sites will just have temporary, sprinklers to get it established and then, let it grow as it may.
okay, thank you.
All right. Commissioners, anything else?
No.
All right. And can I have a motion for agenda item 5, please?
so I move that we approve agenda item 5 with the addition of requirement for trees every 40 feet around the perimeters of the parking lots.
Can I get a second?
Yeah, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Agenda, ayes has passed. Agenda item 5 has been approved. Moving along to agenda item 6, which is conduct a public hearing and consider a zoning change from PD 38R3 to PD 38R4 for construction of a public stadium, a Red Oak High School field on the property addressed as 220 South State Highway 342, PIN number 179902, Ellis County, Appraisal District, City of Red Oak, Texas. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-36, requested by Robert Howman. Staff, please.
Okay, so now we're moving from the middle school site over to the high school site.
Okay.
This is for the addition, we're looking down here in this corner, right, next to, the road here on Luis Ritter. So these, two fields will stay, and then they are proposing to add a track stadium, that will also be utilized for, soccer, I believe. So the site. So here is the new track with field and stadium. It's only going to be 880 seats versus the other one. So the other ones will still house the bigger football games. I don't, from my understanding, their intent is to not play football here. This is just for track and soccer and practice. They are adding a 251 space parking lot adjacent to the stadium for the parking. And so, as I mentioned earlier, our standard is 1/3. In this case, they're doing about 1/3.5. So one space per 3.5 seats inside the stadium. On this one, we are adding quite a bit of landscaping along the frontages and along the parking areas. There's no home and visitor side on this. It's only one-sided. So you've got the kind of restrooms and ticket area down here and concessions under here. The site right here it's an existing kind of detention area. It's going to be widened up a little to add capacity for runoff from the new construction. Out to the east here, there'll be some more of the field events, practice areas. I think that's shot put and javelin and hammer throw. You got long jump and triple jump over here and pole vault. But per the school district, this was doing this in order to have high school track meets at the high school instead of busing the kids over to the middle school.
And a soccer field.
Right, correct. The materials of the concession area and the ticket booth are going to match the other buildings. It's kind of this white brick and with kind of a maroonish banding. It'll have a press box and we did receive several letters in opposition from the neighboring residents, which I believe this is most of them here tonight. If they're not here, I will come back up after they're done and read their objections into the record if
Okay.
they are not here. But that's all I've got on this one, if anybody has any questions.
Okay, thank you, Ben. This is a public hearing. And those who are in favor of this item, you can go first. Those who are against this item, you can go second. When you come to the podium, please state your name and your address, please. And as of right now, the floor is open for agenda item 6. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Amber Jones. I live at 215 Sandy Way, Red Oak, Texas, 75154. And let me just be honest with you, I have quite a list, and I don't want to waste your time, and I know I only have so much time. So do you want me to read it and then address my questions and concerns, or how would you like that?
How much do you have? I'm sorry.
I've got several questions and I have several comments in between. But it's all listed and I tried to be as efficient as possible.
How many questions do you have? Is it 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Yes, if you can get to the point on those 4 or 5,
Okay,
I'm
do you
fine
want
with
me
that.
To read them, or you want to answer them in between?
Um,
It's probably going to be more
Probably
beginning.
be simpler. If Ben, do you want to respond to each one?
yeah. Yes, ma'am. Just read one.
Just-
One at a
just
time.
asking.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I understand the, zoning change request, and it's already a PD. Why is it having to be changed from one PD to a different PD? I just don't understand that totally.
So the PD process requires us to bring it back for any changes on the site plan. So the city council and planning and zoning commission have to approve any site plan amendments. And so this is a site plan amendment because it's a new stadium.
Has there been a TIA done?
No.
Is there going to be one done?
No.
Can I ask why not? traffic
It-
over there is already obnoxious. It is difficult to get in and out because there's vehicles across the way. And then you're gonna add this scenario to us too. And I understand that Goodloe Stadium may be shut down while they're doing the renovations. And they will be resorting to using this stadium possibly for other things, which will increase traffic and noise and everything too. So I'm just kind of wondering why we're not doing a TIA.
Well, the TIA is not going to tell us anything we don't already know. There's traffic over there. What are we gonna do? Add a light?
Yeah, there's probably no.
Right, so there's nothing a TIA would tell us that would result in any actionable items. So we do have a turn lane there, that's going in that will help, from keeping things from backing up. But as far as any kind of, traffic improvements, there's nothing in a TIA that would tell us an actionable item to make it better.
Okay.
And it is a facility that's used at specific times. It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? That's getting from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
But if,
constant traffic.
if you ship all sporting from Goodloe up there for however long that takes, there will be something there every day of the week and different hours of the week. And I also saw in the bond proposal that there's possibly a band practice, somebody's band practicing over there.
I can't speak to any of that, as far as what the school schedules are.
And that's understandable.
Okay.
I understand that. I didn't see up here any screening between that parking lot and the neighborhood. Are we not requiring them to have any kind of screening?
So the screening would have been required at the time the school was built, and I believe the screening that was required and installed was a berm along here. If I remember correctly, see if you can see it on the. Yeah, I don't know that it's not a huge berm, obviously, but I believe that's all that was required at the time the school was originally built.
Nobody wants to look out from back doors. That's.
So we could ask them, but if we look out our back door and we have a 10-foot tall brick wall, we're gonna still see a 102-foot tall stadium, right?
Well, I was told that it was going to be a chain link type fence with a black vinyl intertwined with it anyway, which is not screening. That's a waste of time. I got that from the director of the school district.
I guess they're not showing that on their plan.
No. Those trees are there. But in my experience, trees are not screening because we had to actually put a fence up between my house and my neighbors so the kids would quit walking through the field and walking through my house because I was a quick cut. So trees, I had a big old nice tree that didn't make any difference. I had to actually physically put a fence up and walk the gate.
Is there you have this alley that's open back here.
Right.
I mean, if they're gonna butt it up to the neighborhood so dang close, can we at least separate the two? I mean, for safety, for safety and, yeah.
What is distance from the edge of the parking lot to the,
20 feet.
I assume that to be considered
Right.
because those people that live right there don't really want to move. But I mean, they really don't want to live backed up. You gotta have lighting in the parking lot. And I understand that directional lighting, I get that. I work in a department, so I understand that. But, noise and just anything that can be done to actually help that neighborhood, and for those neighbors right there, to distinguish between the two would be like really nice. It just seems like they're cramming a whole lot in that little bitty spot. I don't really understand why they're putting all of that in, that's a lot.
Being if they do put something there, it will have to go all the way along that property line. Right, all the way across, not just the houses that's,
Um,
And while I'm asking questions, I'm gonna not waste your time, but we as homeowners are concerned about the values of our homes because people are not gonna wanna move in there after that's built. Nobody's gonna wanna live backed up to that. I don't wanna live backed up to that. But currently, right now, I've about got my home where I want it. Fixing it and doing things to it. I don't wanna move. I got a kid graduated from Red Oak. I had another kid that was up to a sophomore year at Red Oak. I don't want to go anywhere. And I understand that it needs to grow. I get it. I worked there for years. I get it. But I just don't understand the reasoning behind where they are trying to put it. Why are they trying to cram so much in this particular piece of property that the school owns? So those are my concerns. Noise, lights.
Fence.
I guess, Ben, in regards to her question, is that more of a ISD concern or for?
I mean, as far as what are they putting on the site? Sure, that'd be up to the ISD.
He didn't say anything about a TIA, so I guess they haven't done one. The screening was the chain link with the black vinyl junk going through it. Basically a fence with the slat things in it. I have his email with his other answers, so I had several questions that I wanted answered so that I didn't have so many here. But, and he actually added too that the extra practice field that is grass now between the practice fields that are current and TSTC, they're taking that back from TSTC and adding parking there. That is directly out my back door. I can stand on my pool ladder and see all of that. So I'm gonna have that going on and then all of this going on.
It'll be this lot thing right here.
Yep.
That's where that additional parking will be.
Yep. There's
What's
gonna be
finished there,
so
it's
much stuff over there that they could at least accommodate the neighbors with proper screening and things to where we don't have to see as much as possible, or the trash doesn't all end up in our backyard, or kids aren't trying to walk across the parking lot, or doing donuts in the parking lot at 12, or we have to listen to the band at 6:30 in the morning. Because honestly, I can hear the high school band from my house, but I'm all for that. My daughter was in the band for 4 years.
And I think some of your concerns you're talking about is probably some Red Oak ISD questions and concerns, here tonight. But it's, okay, so are you finished with your questions? I just want to make sure that you finished. Okay, and if someone else want to come up and speak, please, state your name and your address, please.
Yeah, so to me, this is more of a zoning and it might
Could you
kind
state
of,
your name again for the record, please?
oh yeah,
Name and your address.
Michelle Blake, 301 Susan Way, Red Oak, Texas. Sorry, I'm here again.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring out the point that, you know, the neighborhood is required to have a masonry screen going around, not all of it, but part of it. Not from my house, but from my next door neighbor all the way around. And so that was a concern of ours is, you know, why can't, if the neighborhood is required to have a masonry screen, why do we have such low standards for screening from the entire neighborhood in this area? So that's one of my main concerns. the berm, there's not really a berm there. It's very low. So if we could have some kind of, if, in other words, if we're putting such onus on the individual tenants, those of us that have a wall on our property are required to have that wall and maintain it ourselves, then why can't you guys zone to where the school has to maintain some kind of masonry or something to separate that area from the neighborhood? It's for safety, especially for safety. That's my number one concern. Thank you.
May I ask a
Thank
question?
you.
Your masonry, is it just a brick wall?
It is a
Or
brick
is it
wall.
concrete panels?
No, it's a brick wall.
A brick wall?
And there's no HOA in that neighborhood. And we came up and petitioned the city council about that a few years ago, maybe two. And now nobody in the city, when they come and get permits, the individuals that are maintaining, that have had to rebuild the wall, the brick is all different colors. The craftsmanship is terrible, so I don't even know who's doing the inspections on it. But those are concerns, and the reasons they're concerns of mine, I've been here for 29 years, and I don't have a requirement for masonry wall behind my house. And so I don't know why the zoning was mandated that it had to be from my house or next door to my house around, and yet there's no plan in place in order to keep the look of the wall maintained and the safety of the wall, because it's crumbling all the way around. And so my whole thing is, if the individual in the neighborhood is required to maintain a 6-foot masonry wall, then why is the school not required to maintain that same kind of safety feature for the neighbors? Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, did you want to answer one of those questions? Or I guess regarding the masonry wall, or?
Okay, so there's a lot of history on the Bryan Terrace. I've looked into it a lot. She's right. There's a big section that was required to have masonry walls. They did not set up an HOA, or they did and it went defunct. I can't speak to that. I just don't know. But so essentially it's falling on the individual homeowners to take care of their wall as if it's just a regular backyard fence. It just is way more expensive. So in general, I would say when we do, and I'll tell you that y'all's subdivision is the reason we have our standards now about doing better walls, and you have to have an HOA and they have to maintain it, that type of stuff. But, the masonry walls are for continuity, along roadways typically. So, you can kind of see here, you've got all different colors and stains, and this guy replaced his earlier than this guy, and he did 8 foot instead of 6 foot or whatever. And so it's more of a continuity along a roadway. Well, let's show this. And so you can see, I understand there's a lot of balance. Yeah, I gotcha. But what I'm explaining more is that it's more for continuity. And so instead of seeing 12, you've got the backs of 30 homes along here or something. They've got a continuous singular wall instead of 30 different fence types. And so that's why those brick walls are required. Now, against a shared property line fence, it doesn't come up as often, and it's not required as often. Now, if this was a big, like, for example, if this was like Home Depot or something, yeah, we would do that because it's a much more intense use with big trucks, doing deliveries at all times and whatever. And so we'll typically go from between commercial and residential, some heavier fencing requirements. I can't say why they didn't do that for the school originally back in 2006 or 2007 when the school was built. I don't know. because I believe the subdivision was there already, correct? It's a fairly,
Oh, yeah, subdivision.
well, not these, but all of these here, right? What, wasn't this is like the first phase, I think? And this was the last phase? So I can't speak to that. It's certainly, if you guys want to recommend that to the council, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
But I'm guessing they're gonna bulk, not the council, but the school district. Just at the cost of masonry wall.
Okay.
We're still in the public hearing, right?
Yeah, we still in the public hearing, yeah. Anyone else? Yep, you please state your name and your address again for us.
Amber Jones, 215 Sandy Way, Red Oak, Texas, 75154. If this passes here tonight, it does have to go before the city commission, correct? But it won't. What does it take to not pass city commission? Is there a percentage,
With the majority vote for.
Yeah.
majority vote?
It's a vote,
Okay,
yes, sir.
And it, what's my other question? Can I find out if 20% of the buffer letters were returned for this particular meeting? Cause we got it on a Thursday and it was due on a Monday. So half the people in the neighborhood in the 20% buffer didn't even know they had a letter in the mail.
Oh.
So most of them wouldn't have been turned in here. They can still be used at city council,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I know that that was a lot, but I'm just wondering because I plan on addressing the city as well.
Okay.
Those are
Yeah.
my questions. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No problem. And Ben, we did receive some letters.
I can get you the numbers, but I don't have them on me right now. But yes, we received some. And I believe yours was one of them. I've received 5. If that helps you.
6. Anyone else? And I guess I'm gonna read the opposition letters. Oh, you read those? I think we have 5 or 6, Ben. Is it 6?
I think we had 6. I think one got double scanned. Excuse me, double scanned.
Okay.
All right. Daniel Claiborne, 325 Sandra Way, Red Oak, Texas, just says against. Robert Hopkins at 311 Sandra Way. Mr. Palmer, we are opposed to any zoning change or construction of any stadium, sports facility, or associated parking lots on the existing Red Oak High School property. It will cause far too much noise and light pollution. I go to bed at 7:30 p.m. and wake up early for work at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday. There will be far too much vehicle and foot traffic in our neighborhood. This will lead to nuisance, loitering, and trespass. We fear our quality of life and property value will be greatly diminished if a stadium is constructed at Red Oak High School property. We appreciate your assistance in the matter. Robert Hopkins. Amber Jones. Okay. She spoke.
Okay.
David and Pamela Taylor at 213 Sandy, against, citing too close to our home. And Russell Smith and Glenda Smith at 315 Sandra Way, writing in against. Money should be going to teach kids. On other hand, colossal waste, too much money for a stadium, trash, littering, built too close to quiet neighborhoods, limited parking, congestion of existing roadways, no privacy, excessive lighting, too much noise, too tall of a structure, too big. And that was the letters we received.
Okay. Thank you, Ben.
Do we know how tall the stadium is?
It's
The bleachers?
124 to the top of the press box. The
Wow.
bleachers, the last stand of the bleachers is 112. I'm sorry, this is not 112 feet tall. It's 12 feet, 7 inches. So ground level, it,
Oh, is it 100?
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'm sorry. The
So
fresh
it's
box
24
is
feet tall.
24 feet tall. That's my mistake. So
Okay.
Do we need to close the public hearing? We still, did we close?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I was gonna ask. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes
Aye.
have it. The public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns?
I do have a question. Ben, can we send this, can we send this back to the school board or whoever? And request them to do a further study about putting maybe a concrete panel wall between, what are the two streets? Louise Ritter and Lawrence on the other end?
yep.
I'm not gonna specify a height or anything, but a solid concrete wall so that any pedestrian traffic at least has to go around the ends.
Berm and trees like the data centers have to have.
Well, berm's easy to walk over.
If it's high though, it's
Mm,
a deterrent,
Yeah,
as high as theirs are.
guess what do y'all
think
think about that?
like an 8 or 10 foot concrete panel wall,
The masonry fence?
brick walls don't
Brick wall.
last. Concrete panel, I think would be better. My other concern would be about putting that in between the existing fences and that is who's gonna maintain the green space between them.
Yep, that's a
I
problem.
mean, that would be the responsibility of the individual owners to go out and mow behind there, which means they would have to have gates to get back
It's on
there.
their property.
Cause
Out there.
I believe, would that be on their property or would that be
It
the
depends on
district's?
Where a wall got put. If they
Yeah.
took down the existing fences and replaced it with a panel wall, then it could go right on the property line and everybody could mow right up to it.
Everybody
If they
mow up
just
to either side.
Went and installed it, then yeah, there
Yeah.
would be certainly be a
I-
gap.
I would just like the feasibility for that to be reviewed before we approve it.
Okay.
And I guess, can we put that in as a request?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to request that?
I request that this be tabled pending review by the school district of the feasibility of installing a solid panel wall between Ritter and Lawrence.
Where is it at there?
So you can go.
So Rance,
Uh-huh.
Ritter.
Okay,
Yeah.
just go all the way.
All
across.
along
That's
there.
what I was asking.
That way, all the homeowners along that wall. Because at some point, they're gonna want to use that space between the TSTI and there. So let's just take care of it all at once.
But I guess we put in a request for that fence. then it goes-
Well, no, we're not putting in a request. We're just tabling this until the district reviews it and comes back to us.
Is that
Do-
correct, Ben? Or
Yes,
is it-
if
is
you
it-
table it, then we won't take it to council.
Do we have the authority to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking, what if we approve with, I guess, a fence?
You can, yes, that could be your
Uh,
recommendation to council
recommendation.
that you approve it with a wall, and then they can either take that, suggestion and approve it the same way, or they can just take it as is, or they can make any other change they want.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah,
With-
that
with-
would work. So
I mean,
what do
I'm
you
just
think?
asking. Yeah, with a fence. I'm thinking the same way, but like Ben, they do put a fence, they have to take the existing fence down of all those houses and replace it with that fence that we,
So the motion would be something like, move to approve with the condition that they install a masonry panel wall.
Masonry, concrete fence.
The existing property line and take down everybody's individual fence, and that becomes the new fence or something to that nature.
Something like that.
yeah.
So Ben, I have a question about the parking area. I assume the drainage is such that.
Okay, well, hang on.
Okay, who has the question? I'm sorry.
So
you're
the-
asking about the drainage.
Right, is that such that they couldn't move the parking lot further towards the top of this picture?
They could, I don't think much. They would slide over this and then they could slide over that, so it wouldn't be.
You could change the shape.
Yes, it would change. I think it could be done. But obviously this is the easiest, kind of Tetris block way to fit it in.
Okay.
I'm-
Oh, you're asking if they move the parking lot up? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, just squeeze, make it longer, or whatever, more square, move it up, so that it's not right on.
Yeah, that is pretty close to the homes, but. Okay, Susie, did you have a question? I didn't want to leave you out.
No, I'm just a little concerned that we're trying to make too many modifications to something that they're putting in and not considering what the cost could be, because they only have so many funds to work with, and it's not like there's not already a stadium there. That's just my view. I know that sounds kind of cold, but I hear the band at my house, and I live 2 miles from the high school, and I hear the band at my house every morning when they play. I'm not sure what a concrete masonry wall is going to do other than just become an item that needs to be attended to. And I'm not sure that that's a great idea. There's still going to be traffic. It's limited. It's not every day. This is not a retail space.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the property belongs to the school. And that's like
Ma'am,
telling your
the
neighbor,
public hearing
you
has been
can't-
closed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. That's like telling your neighbor that you can't build a barn because it's going to impede my view. Not your property. So I don't know. That's just my view. So I understand what you're all saying. I do, and I understand what the residents are saying. I get it.
So I think I would,
Ma'am, the public hearing is closed. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're discussing this as a commission. And I just want to make sure everyone was heard. All right. Anything else, Susie?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Karen, did you have something?
I would feel better rewording it that we would, instead of saying a masonry wall, a concrete wall that, or I can't think of the exact words to use, or something that, some alternative, not just these 5, 6 trees, which are supposedly already there, and a chain link fence, something more of a sound and visual barrier.
Some kind of, it don't have to be that, the masonry or
Right.
concrete. Okay, some type of.
I like the phrasing that she used, sound and
Visual.
visual.
Okay, some sort of barrier, I guess what I'm thinking.
A
about there.
sound and visual barrier.
Okay,
Let's do that.
okay, sounds good. Can I have a motion for agenda item 6, please?
Move that we approve it with the addition of mandating a sound and visual barrier be installed from Louise Ritter to Lawrence Road.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Nay.
We got 3 ayes. 1 nay. Ayes have it. Agenda item 6 has been approved with the added comments. Moving along to agenda item 7, which is also a public hearing, change from PD 186 to PD 186R for submittal and approval of a development plan for multifamily uses generally located at the northwest corner of Ovilla Road and Grand Meadow Boulevard. PIN number 188573, Ellis County Appraisal District, City of Red Oak, Ellis County. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-34, requested by Drew Danowski. Staff, please.
All right, Commission, the next 3 items are all related to this. It's the detailed development plan as well as the preliminary and final plat for this site. So I'm gonna kind of talk about them all together.
Okay,
So this is the site along Grand Meadow and Ovilla Road that we saw in November for the multifamily in the back and commercial along the front. And so at that time, they just did a concept plan, so they're coming back now to you with the detailed development plan and elevations of the buildings. So it is 350 units, just like the original concept plan, and the layout is substantially the same as the original concept plan. These darker lines are the buildings here, clubhouse up front, main entry here, secondary entry here. You got a creek along this side, a couple of detention ponds on this side where the site kind of splits in half, and then a detention pond over here where the site drains this way. There is some off-site utilities that they'll have to do. They'll have to come over here and connect to the sewer. They're connected to the sewer back here, but this one will actually be off-site versus right at the edge of the property. The remaining frontage of Ovilla is all going to be commercial, as we did see in the previous concept plan, and they will too also have to come back and provide a detailed development plan like this plan. For landscaping, the site has been landscaped in accordance with the original approved concept plan and requirements. There's landscaping around the buildings as well as around the site. So trees along the frontage, bushes around the frontage, screening of the AC units around the front. And if y'all will remember, there were some requirements on the, I believe in the original, it was called Zone 1 or Zone A for the buildings that were basically that you could see from the road. So let me go back to that overall site plan. So these two buildings and then these along here that you could actually see from the roadway would have specific landscape requirements as well as building material requirements. Here you can kind of see the delineation. Here's the creek here, a future trail going along the creek. That won't be done with this site, but just how it interacts with the commercial adjacent to it. And these are similar to the elevations that were provided in the original concept plan. These are the sides, this is the front. So you've got 100% masonry here along these frontages, brick, and then a darker brick on the top with some stucco banding. And this is an elevation of the clubhouse. So as you come in, you'll see this. It's also got a lot of landscaping around it. That's not shown in the elevation, but shown on the landscape plan. This will be their leasing office as well as their gym and different areas they have inside that have their pool connected to it as well. So along the So what I'm going to show you next is the screening along this property boundary here. So you've got the existing homes that have a wood fence and retaining wall. Jump down here just to see that. So you've got this wood fence and then it's on top of a retaining wall. So what this site's actually going to do is they're actually lowering their site quite a bit due to some grading issues. And what I'm going to show you is they've got basically like a dual wall system with a retaining wall that's got the shrubs on top of it. All right, so here's the edge of the parking lot. It's got a retaining wall here. And then this is the existing retaining wall with the existing fence on top of it. And then they're doing, in this gap in between, they're doing the Nellie R. Stevens, the evergreen hollies. So they're green all year round, and very bushy. And so what they provided us with was a sight line from the third floor. So you can see, on the sides of those buildings, they don't have regular windows that are, only 18 inches off the floor. They're the higher windows so that people can't really see out of them very well. And so that sight line looks something like this. And so to mitigate any fear of looking down over into people's backyards, one, you've got a large distance, and two, you've got the evergreen screen, and then also just the physical incapability to look down out of this window, really. So that's what they were showing here in this exhibit.
Okay.
We did have one letter in opposition, Mr. Marquise and Mrs. Erica Masters at 193 Bowling Green Avenue. Way too many they were against way too many rental properties and not enough businesses or owners on this side of Ovilla. All of these rental properties are decreasing our value and driving away owners. Please stop with the rental properties and bring more business. And just reminder, the whole frontage is business. And so I'll just quickly go through the two plats.
Okay.
So this is the entirety of the property. So this is the preliminary plat. So this lot 8 here is the multifamily tract, and then lots 1 through 7 are all commercial. And these are just the fire lanes on the interior of the property. Fire lanes for future connectivity of the lots. And this is just the final plat, so it's just for lot 8. So the preliminary plat kind of plans out the entirety of the tract, and then you just plat each lot individually with a final plat.
Okay.
And so when we do move to approve this, please just approve subject to council approval of the zoning and preliminary plat, which it both has to go to both. That's all I have on that. I believe the applicant is online and they do have a presentation.
Okay.
Greg, is someone online to present?
Yes, I'm here, Ben.
Okay. Do you want to? Greg? Can he share his screen?
Yeah, trying to get it pulled up here right now.
Okay. Greg's gonna give you access to share the screen. Just a sec.
Also, too, this is a public hearing, and those in favor of this item, you can go first. Please state your name and your address, and those who have any questions or concerns, you can go second, please.
Yeah, Brett, just hit us with your name and address before you start.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Ben. So Brett Foster, 13890 Lafferty Street in Frisco, Texas. I work for the developer of this project. I'll try to make this quick tonight. I know we ran through this back in late November. So again, the subject site that Ben mentioned, it's 26.7 acres on Ovilla Road, just right off I-35, and it fits within that I-35 corridor vision plan. The site is zoned for commercial, retail, medical office, and multifamily uses. Again, here's kind of that overall site plan with the multifamily buffering the single family to the north from the more intense uses of the commercial district. This site is zoned for 350 units and will provide a lot of neighborhood conveniences to the west side of I-35. And just to caveat it to the rentalship rate in the city of Red Oak is 18%, whereas the rest of DFW sits at 40%. So the need for rental housing is only going to increase in the city of Red Oak as you guys grow at a 5 to 7% growth rate through 2030. One thing to mention on this site plan, we did conduct an additional civil study that shows potentially the mitigating of detention ponds, as this site benefits from sitting in between two tributaries. So with that to say, we can guarantee that we will not look to add any additional density from that, and instead look to enhance the site with a more expansive dog park and potentially look to add more parking for our residents. Again, tonight, we're going to be speaking primarily on the multifamily and go through the Wolf Company's background a little bit more. So again, we're a third generation family owned company out of Scottsdale, Arizona. We employ more than 400 today, and we specialize in delivering high quality multifamily properties. We've actually received 96 awards since 2014 now. The slide's still a little outdated. And to date, we own approximately 12,000 units. Wolf Company is one of the few US developers with fully discretionary capital, which gives us extra flexibility on the terms that we can own these properties. So we view this opportunity as a long-term hold for the Wolf Company. Additionally, crime and community safety is of utmost importance to us. It's not a good look if there's any crime reports coming out from our apartment, and it would hurt our rental rates. So all of our prospective residents will be screened with a credit check and criminal background check. Those with a criminal record in the last 7 to 9 years are actually turned away. The site will also have security lighting, surveillance cameras, 24-hour monitoring, and we will offer a police discount program with nightly security patrols. The site will have electronic access with pedestrian gates. Additionally, our residents will have key fob access, and the lot will be secured. And then again, to hit our kind of required rental rates, we need to offer exceptional amenities. So with that, we're going to include an expansive clubhouse, fitness center, resort style pool, larger dog park, hopefully with the detention ponds going away, barbecues with curated seating areas, and an event lawn which can host a multitude of uses. Ben kind of touched on it too. So with the living screen wall, I'll just go to this bigger chart here. So again, the current conditions of the site, there's a variable height masonry wall with a 6-foot tall security fence abutting the single family homes. So with that, it's roughly 9 feet tall. And part of the zoning PD allows for a masonry wall and or a living screen wall. And what we propose is installing this living screen wall with Nellie Stephen hollies that are in the tree form rather than the shrub. So the shrubs that we proposed last go around, they still would exceed that height, but the tree form will provide additional height. So we'll get up to 25 feet. And we've worked with our landscape architect to ensure proper distancing to make sure they can grow to a mature height quickly. Again, with the site conditions, we do have to cut approximately 4 additional feet with the site. So where our residents will be standing kind of by this car, to look up to that fence is 13 feet. So with us having a 6-foot tall masonry wall, it really renders it useless. And we propose that a living screen that can one day reach heights of up to 25 feet is only going to be better for your residents and provide better screening from these windowsills looking out. Additionally, along the site, you can kind of see here where I'm moving my mouse, we'll have additional plantings with elm trees, live oaks, and Texas red oaks. Per Ben and working with city staff, we delivered an exceptional product with these renderings. All our buildings are 100% masonry and offer architectural articulation, such as these cornice details. You got bandings that add visual interest as well. And there's a lot of articulation on the vertical plane here with additional roofline elements with the tower and additional banding. Additionally, Grand Meadow Boulevard has great landscaping and streetscape, so we will continue that throughout the development to make it cohesive. And then here's just some additional renderings of the subject site. As you can see, it's very attractive. It's got a grand entry boulevard too to provide a sense of arrival. And residents will also have ground floor patio units, and select units will actually have pet yards too. And then again, just some other sample amenities that we'll offer with our grilling stations, the fire pits, cornhole, dog parks, etc. And then here's just some sample interior shots of our product. So we have granite and quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances. Again, we need to hit high rental rates to be able to make this product a success. So we are offering a very Class A multifamily project here. Additionally, all of the units will have vinyl plank flooring throughout the unit and for down cabinets to give it a sleek, modern look. So in summary, we're proposing an exceptional mixed-use project with neighborhood conveniences west of I-35 with uses of restaurant, retail, commercial, and multifamily. Additionally, we are seeking a recommendation of the living screen rather than the 6-foot masonry wall, as we want to provide a greater buffer to the residents to the north. And we are seeking approval for a development plan and recommendation into City Council. This project will provide a great transition and buffer from the lower single-family use or lower intensity single-family uses from the higher intense commercial district. The project is going to be very secured and crime-free with the 24-hour monitoring and security patrols. And we think it's the solution to some neighborhood conveniences on the west side of I-35. So with that, I'll open the floor to any potential questions that staff may have.
All right, thank you, Brent. So this is a public hearing. Those in favor of this item, please state your name and your address, and those maybe who are against this item. I don't see anybody, so go ahead.
Greg, is there anybody else online that's trying to speak or anything? Okay.
Thank you, Ben. And I have a motion to close the public hearing, please.
We close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Commissioners, do you have any questions for agenda item 7?
No.
It's not a make or break, but I'm just curious. You said on the walls facing Ovilla and Grand Meadow, it'll be 100% masonry. It's on the walls interior to that.
I believe the written standard was 80%.
Ben, what's that right above the colors, the materials?
Yeah, that's the materials throughout.
Yeah, that's just.
Stucco, fiber cement, lamp siding.
If I zoom in,
Okay.
it becomes,
Yeah.
brick and then a stucco banding brick here as well. Cornice pieces up here, same thing throughout. You can kind of see your siding has got under your breezeways for the stairs. On the sides here, on these buildings, they're stucco here.
And I'm guessing that view at the bottom maybe is a more of an inside, yes, down there, maybe has more stucco on it, but still some brick. Okay.
And we do consider, our ordinance considers stucco to be masonry.
Okay.
And then that cross section that you show with the living screening wall, is that? I know this property has some hills. Is that gonna be how it is across the whole entire property line?
The height of the wall varies down.
Okay,
It's as you, let's see, best to see it in the, yeah, can you kind of see how it
yeah,
tapers down? So it'll be a little bit taller down here, a little bit shorter down here as you go up towards it. This is kind of the high point of the land, and then it starts falling back the other way.
okay.
Okay.
So it'll be a little different there. Okay.
So you said they were going to do a lot of grading. At the far end where there's not as much wall, will they be grading down below it, and who'll be responsible for?
So there's going to be a gap between the walls, so they'll grade it and then put their own wall in.
And then put their own?
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
kind of see on this here. So there's the actual property line, and so this is actually away from the property line just a little bit. And so they'll build a new wall here and then have this kind of terraced area for
Okay.
plantings.
So at the far end, away from the road, where the existing retaining wall
It's short.
is short, they're still gonna
Yes,
be
cut this
below,
down.
below the level of that retaining wall?
Yes,
Okay.
So they maintain that whole sightline design all the way to the end,
yeah, I mean, it's not going to be exact.
but it'll be
It'll be
similar.
Similar, yes.
And I guess they would have to make their existing retaining wall a lot taller, right? Once they start moving.
So they're not going to make that retaining wall. They're not going to do anything to the
Taller, I
existing.
guess.
But their retaining wall may be taller.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It's going to vary in height.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I did want to just talk to you guys real quick about one thing they mentioned.
One quick, go back to the retaining wall. Okay, the existing retaining wall, they show a footer that goes either side of the retaining wall.
Yeah,
Whereas theirs is only on one side.
yeah, it's not a design. It's more of
It's
a
just an
depiction of what's
illustration.
there because
Okay.
this, I don't even think this has a footer probably. It's probably,
Okay.
it's just a rubble wall.
I've seen so many of those
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah,
It's like those masonry,
correct.
yeah.
Correct. Yeah, no, this is just an exhibit. It's just a cartoon to show you what's gonna happen.
Okay,
I was gonna just quickly go over something he mentioned about the detention areas may be able to go away. So our our drainage requirements do allow property owners, they require detention in some form or fashion on every property, unless you do a study that you can show that you're not creating any downstream impact to properties by just free releasing. And the way that is done is basically what we kind of, just for layman's term, we call it a timing study. And so this all of this kind of drains through two main water courses. You got
okay.
all this kind of drains into this pond and then down through this way. And then all of this drains through here into here and then under Villa Road. And so we've required detention on all these other properties. And so detention, basically you capture the water, like I said, and then you let it out a small hole and it goes over time, it'll release.
Right.
And so what they're going to do a study for, and they haven't provided it, but they said it looks like they can do it, is they're going to show that all of the water leaves their site before any other water gets here to their
Gotcha.
site.
Okay.
So when I say timing, it's literally like their water's all gone and now all the other water's coming. And so it's kind of, they're not creating a rise or they're not creating an additional need for larger capacity of culverts or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, because it's already gone. The water goes out and it's gone, and then all the detained water comes after that. And so anyway, what they're saying is they might be able to either decrease or get rid of a detention pond altogether and
Have a
make their
bigger
dog
dog
park
park.
bigger or add parking if needed, but they can't add a building or something like that.
Okay. I know that we like for commercial to happen the same time when it's property where both is supposed to happen, and tonight we're just seeing the preliminary plat for this one. Do we know?
It's a preliminary plat for the whole 28 acres or
Okay.
24 or whatever it was. And then,
Well, just a final on this.
right, and it's just a preliminary plat is essentially a planning document. It has no legal, you can't sell a lot based on a preliminary plat.
Sure.
And so each one will come back before you on the commercial for the site plan
Okay.
and their final plat as well.
We don't have any idea if that's
Ben?
gonna be anytime soon, though.
I don't have a time frame on that. Who we got?
Hey, Ben, you got Bobby here at Victory.
Oh, hey, Bobby. Real name, quick, and name and address.
Yep, I'm Bobby Mendoza, Victory Real Estate Group, 600 South Sherman Street, Richardson, Texas. I am representing the master developer on the site. We are a Victory Group who's going to be doing all of the commercial along the frontage, including lot 7 there. From a commercial standpoint, we are in our design for the retail center there on the corner, which we call, I believe it's called lot 6. That'll be coming in. I believe our submittal is going to be sometime in February, so we'll be seeing you. We'll be back in front of you all in March, I believe is the way the timing's going to work. Is that correct, Drew?
Probably. That sounds great. Okay.
Okay. But commercial's following quickly after, to answer your question, ma'am.
Yeah, we're right behind. Come on.
Hey, Ben, could you go back to the one where it shows the 2 entrances into the streets and Ovilla Road? Neither one of those entrances has a street light, does it?
No,
Okay,
and Grand Meadow doesn't have a median cut either.
okay.
But I believe the commercial was going to try to work with TxDOT to get a left turn lane there.
Okay.
That is correct.
No light, but a left turning lane.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Wait,
to get
close
light.
for a
I
light.
would encourage them to try and get a light too.
They have to have.
It's way too close for a light. TxDOT will never have a light that close. That's 500 feet. Their standard is more like 1,000 plus.
Drew, just for the record, will you give your name and address for me?
Yeah, it's Drew, Playmore Engineering, 3231 Harwood Boulevard or Harwood Road, Bedford, Texas, 76021. Sorry, I'm not there right now. I'm in Dallas.
All right, thanks, man. Thank you.
No further questions
No further-
for me.
Susie, you have anything?
No, I don't have anything.
All right, can I have a motion for agenda item number 7, please?
I move that we accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Agenda item 7 has been approved. Moving along to number 8, which is consider approving a preliminary plat for Victory at Red Oak on approximately 26.695 acres of land, generally located at the northwest corner of Ovilla Road and Grand Meadow Boulevard PIN number 188573. Case number P as in Paul, S as in Sam, 25-33, requested by Drew Danowski. Staff.
This is just the preliminary plat, for this same project, showing 8 lots. And, sorry, let me get back to it. Like I said, this is just a planning document. And so they're just, our next item is going to be for them to final plat this lot 8 here. And then in the future, these other 7 lots will come back before you for a development plan and final plat.
Thank you, Ben. Commissioner, you have any questions for 8?
No.
I move that we approve agenda item 8 as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Agenda item 8 has been approved. Moving along to number 9 is consider approving a final plat for Victory at Red Oak on approximately 14.001 acres of land generally located on the west side of Grand Meadow Boulevard and approximately 102 feet north of the intersection of Ovilla Road and Grand Meadow Boulevard. PIN number 188573. Case number P as in Paul, S as in Sam, 25-34, requested by Drew Danowski.
So this, like I said, this is just the final plat for lot 8, which is just the multifamily lot. It includes all of the appropriate utility easements and fire lanes for the proposed development. And if you guys could just approve subject to council approval of zoning and preliminary plat, I would appreciate it.
Move that we approve pending approval of the commission
The preliminary plat.
or preliminary plat of the by the commission,
By the city council.
city council, I'm sorry.
Yeah, zoning and preliminary plat.
Zoning and
Approval.
preliminary plat by the city council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Agenda item 9 has been approved. with
And
the-
everybody online needs to thank all the commissioners for braving the cold, icy roads.
Yes,
Come
we're,
in tonight and
we're on
approve
ice
your
skating.
cases.
yeah, thank you, Susie. I know you want to get involved, so we appreciate you being online. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd be there, but my driveway is literally a sheet of ice and we cannot back the car out without sliding into a bar ditch.
You're correct, Susie. I came here through Lyft, so I stay on the other side of
Yeah.
the road there from you. So yeah, I couldn't back up either. If
Yeah,
I did, I would have ran into my neighbor's car. So
yeah.
all right, and can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being involved with the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting